through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash, numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in a roaring crowd, every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Good evening and welcome to THFC to a Die, home of Tottenham past, present and the exciting future under the mighty cockerel. It's going to be Premier League status retained or Championship football facing next year. Look, me and Rain have seen a lot of Tottenham over the years and probably put our experience together. We're looking at 100 years of supporting this football club. And look, we can sort of point to worse times than what we're going through. Yes, these are probably not good, but we've seen worse. And I think we're going to be fine. I think Spurs are going to stay up, and then we'll see what the owners do in the summer. But we're going to talk a bit about Man City situation. We'll talk a little bit about Igor. We're going to talk a little bit Simon Jordan's comments about the board, always being the board, has been the board, always was the board, never was Levy. And should we really be blaming the board? And also with Fulham and Palace coming up, how important is it to get 6 out of 6? Is that important? And also, I am now not going to the Palace game, just to let everyone know. I will be here to do the watch along. James will be going in my place. As the representative of this channel, he will be going to the Palace game. Just one of them things, something crept up, and I am now I can't go. So James is now going in my place. So big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to you, Ray. Good evening. Welcome. How are you?
Good evening. Doing very well, thank you.
See, we're very professional on this show. Give it 5 minutes, we'll be ripping each other's heads off.
I think we are going to disagree on some things, Dermot.
I like that. No, I think, look, if we were to agree on everything, no, seriously, if we were to agree on everything, it would be a boring show. We can't sort of agree on everything, can we? We see things differently. Like me and Tequila don't agree on everything, or me and James don't agree. It doesn't mean that we don't love the football club, but it's the case. It's good to have opposite opinions, and I think that's what makes debate good as well. Let's welcome a few people in. So we've got Wayne Bonner. Big up to you, Wayne. He says, "Good evening, folks. Hope you're all well. Pumped for our do or die match against Fulham. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like a Christmas looks forward to Christmas Day. Or a turkey. Big up to Rain. He says, morning, afternoon, evening, folks. That's it. Wherever you're in the world, we have you covered. Big up John 68. He says, big up Dermo. It's like the Tango advert back in the day, wasn't it? What was the nickname for the Tango advert back in the day? Oh, what was it?
me.
Do you remember the Tango advert? You used to ring each other up and say, oh, what was that? Maybe somebody put it in the chat. It was really funny. Big up Dermo and Rain and chat COYS. Big up to you. Big up Simon Cohen as well. It says, evening, boys. Evening, Simon. Hope you're doing well, bud. Big up to Simon Jordan in the chat. Big up to you, Simon. It says 3 wins easy. I'd love to be where you are because I can't see 3 wins anywhere. Big up to him. It says blame Levy and the board. Yeah, that's true. He says Paul James making him watch that, Dross. Well, I couldn't go, and he's been through a bit of a rough time, bless him. So I said, look, here's the ticket. Go and enjoy yourself. Big up Rain said James is clearly not the Messiah. He's a very I don't get that, but maybe you can explain to me. That's a very funny one. Good evening, gents. Hello, Tequila. Big up to you geeks. Hope you're doing well. We'll get you on the weekend if you're around. And Tequila said, yes, but you should agree with me, Dermo. Yeah, I know you're Simon Jordan in disguise, but don't have to agree with you with everything. He's saying hi to geeks. Big up to Knights of the Republic. Big up to your bud. It says big up Dermo and Rain. Big up to you. What's that? That was it. What's up? That was it. Sure, it might have been the Budweiser ad.
It was Budweiser, yeah.
What was the Tango one?
I don't know.
You've been tangoed or something. It's like every time Romero puts in a monster tackle, I always say you've been Romero'd.
You've been tangoed was a little orange man who would go round.
That was it. Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, I got the pair of them. He smacked people on the head, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Chelsea recorded a pre-tax loss of 355 million for the 24-25, according to financial figures released by UEFA. It's the highest annual loss ever made by an English football club. Right. We've got to talk about that. Monty Python, love it. Yeah. Do you know what? I was saying to me and Dover were talking about Monty Python the other night. We're watching something. She went, is that the Life of Brian? I went, yeah. Is that the night? I said, that's a Tottenham fan. Arms chopped off, legs chopped off, still going round in the circle, but it's only a scratch. That's Tottenham fans.
That's not Life of Brian, though.
Is it not Life of Brian? It's the other one, the other film.
That's a Holy Grail.
Holy Grail, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about. I just got the films mixed up. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Big up to get posted about Chelsea, so makes your issues feel less. Well, not rarely. You've been tangoed, you've been leaving. That's a good one. And yet, okay, fair enough. Look, big up to everyone. Big up to the chat as well. Yeah, big up. Yeah, big up to you geeks. Hope you're doing well, bud. Rain, look, where do you want to start, bud? Do you want to start on the Simon Jordan comments of it was always Enoch, it was always the owners. The owners were then are the same owners now. Levy was just somebody that was put as a sort of shield for the owners who took all the hits. Look, to be fair, he didn't get everything right, but there is something to it, isn't there? That he was a bit of a protector for Enoch. That everyone was like blaming Enoch or Levy. Where do you stand in these comments?
Yeah, I don't agree with him.
Where don't you agree with him?
I categorically don't agree with him.
Okay, then where don't you agree?
Well, because Levy has been running the football club for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Now, does he sit on the board? Yes. Did the board appoint him as chairman and CEO, which I think is an absolute travesty, by the way. That I think it's an absolute no other £4 billion business has their chairman and CEO as the same person. Well, not as far as I'm aware. It's absolute. It's wrong. It's been a major cause for why we've had so many problems. But the board appointed Levy repetitively. So Enoch are complicit, but then Levy managed the club as he wanted to. Levy clearly managed the club in his image. He has been on multiple. He doesn't do very many interviews, but he has been on multiple interviews, and he's taken credit, and he's explained exactly the way that Spurs has been managed, the way that Spurs has been organised, and the way that the general approach to Spurs being operated as a business is absolutely in his image. He has absolutely explained this. So Simon Jordan can say whatever he wants, but I'm going to believe what I've been told by Levy. I'm going to believe what I've seen with my eyes, and I'm going to believe what's happened over the last 20 years, and I'm not going to accept any revisionism. Does that mean that Enoch are not involved? No. I refuse to accept, right, that there's ever one person to blame for anything. Yeah, and as human beings, we quite often want to find that one person. We want to find that one person, blame them, get rid of them. It's all solved. Rubbish. That's not the way that life works. Yes, were Enoch complicit in what was going on? Yes. Were the current board members of Enoch involved? I don't know. They certainly had an input. The thing that I'm quite clear about right here, right now, is that, and I know it's an unpopular opinion considering where we are, I think new Enoch is trying to do the right thing. I just think they're doing it very slowly, and they've got a couple of the appointments wrong, which is always going to happen. So, but I think they're trying to do the right thing. They're trying to make, so examples, a CEO who's been deeply involved in another successful football club, Vinay. Whatever you say about him, he had a very successful time at Chelsea. At Arsenal. Had a very successful time there. They want a separation of duties between the CEO, what the sporting directors are doing. Obviously, they report into him. People who are looking after things like player contracts and transfer negotiations, which is what my understanding is what Rafi is going to be doing. A very, very clearly defined role for the coach. This wasn't in place under Levy. Under Levy, it basically everybody reported into him, and he had tentacles into every single department, and quite often got directly involved in every single department. We've even had, sorry for going on a long rant, Dermot. We've even had Poch in the latest interview, the High Performance podcast, the interview there. Poch confirmed again that Levy would repetitively get involved with who should be in the squad, right? So everybody who says, that's what the coach does, well, sorry, it's now not even the sporting director. Now it's Levy who's telling them you need to get rid of so and so. In this case, it was Harry Kane, and that shouldn't be the case. There should be segregation of duties.
Yeah, there should be,
right. Segregation of duties is in corporate world.
Yeah,
and,
like it was in the good old days, where there was a manager and whatever there was a manager and the chairman. He went to the chairman. I want that player. He went out and got him that player. And now there's you just want it simple. It's about the communication, isn't it? It's about the line of command. from a manager to who buys the players. You want that clear communication. And because it goes through different people, everyone's got their own idea on it, haven't they? Oh, I don't want that player. Let's go for that player. Where there should be a small committee with a manager that deals with transfers. And an owner just does what the owner does, get the money into the football club. I agree with you. This is actually the actual comments he made. Just to give you some context, Ryan, he says, what you're seeing now is the true face of Tottenham Hotspur. This is the real ownership. This is what Daniel Levy has been blamed for. The true ownership is the Lewis family to change the club. Now, this is about changing the race structure, which I sort of agree with you, by the way, when you say they're trying to do the right thing. But do you think they're doing it a little too late? Maybe they should have done this a couple of years ago. Or was Daniel Levy the biggest obstacle to anything changing at Tottenham then?
They've had to eject him. They've had to eject him out of the club.
Yeah, that's true.
We've spoken.
That took some fucking manoeuvring to get rid of him.
And it's still clear that there's fighting going on at board level about it. So they've had to, and I think that they've had to wait until Joe Lewis is no longer directly involved.
Do you think he's still involved, Ryan?
I think he's absolutely. I mean, I think he's absolutely, still influential, but he's not directly involved. So they actually now have the ultimate power, because he has now divested all of his shares through the trust into them. So they have, they now have their hands on the steering wheel. They're not just in the car giving advice to the person who's got the steering wheel. But I also don't agree with Simon Jordan, and I know that he's very difficult to debate with, because he'll just talk over you, and he'll just blah blah blah. But
I just love to see you two debating. I would love that. You and Simon Jordan got that. I would put that out to pay the view. You two debating.
He knows as well as I do that the culture of a business is built up over a period of time, and it doesn't go away with a snap of the fingers. If you get new owners, it takes a while for the culture of the business to be shifted. It is the quintessential oil tanker. It will keep going and keep going, and it takes an awful lot of effort to change that culture, to move that culture in a different direction. So the idea that Levy leaves in the summer, and then all of a sudden, everything in the next 6 months is the new owner's responsibility, that's for the birds, and he knows it. He knows it. He knows that that Levy's legacy and what Levy did at the club for 25 years will not go in 6 months' time. We also have evidence of a change in culture. We have Xavi, we have Kudus, we have Paulinho. Paulinho.
We never got them players under Levy.
We would never get a player like Paulinho.
No.
The only other player who we got like Paulinho was Pulisic. Perisic.
Yeah.
Perisic.
Croatian.
And that was extraordinary. None of us thought, it was. Apparently, Gallagher is on well over 100. Is on north of 150 grand a week, right? That they are clearly breaking our wage structure already. Yeah. But the problem is, for all of the people who said, Gallagher was the wrong player for us to sign in January. No, he was the right player. It's just that we needed 3 more. We needed 3 more. Yes, go and get Gallagher, but also get Lookman, also get Robinson, or Robertson. Go and get the other right players.
Yeah, they didn't back that one up, did they? They didn't back a transfer with another transfer with another transfer. They just went, there you go. That's what you're getting in January. We've
Yeah, but
sold
who's
one to pay
they?
for one. But see,
Who's they?
well, it's the Lewis family, Vinay and Johan Lang. They're
I
all
don't think it
involved
was the
in
Lewis family.
Do you think it was
I
Johan
don't.
Lang?
That's not the way that that's not the way that corporations work. So the Lewis family would not have been involved in the transfer window. They just wouldn't.
Bankrolled the money in.
They set a budget. The way that the organisations work in tiers, right? And the board, effectively, in many organisations, the board only meets once a year, right? They don't get involved in the business on a daily or monthly basis. They only meet once a year or every half a year. They might get reports, but they don't meet more than every 6 or 12 months, right? And then they approve bonuses, they approve remuneration for executives, and they approve major budgets. That's what they do. So the idea that the board is sitting there and they're the ones who are getting involved in the transfer. If that is happening, then our club is really, really, really broken. Because effectively what should happen is Vinay should have a very clear idea of what his budget is, and then he should be delegating to the sporting directors to go and get the right players that we need. They should be speaking with the coach to make sure that it's all in line. But I'm very, very clear in my mind that the coach is not the one who says, I want this player or that player.
He gets given the player.
He gets given the player.
Yeah.
He gets given the squad. It just has to be the right squad.
Yeah. You can't see a Poch or a manager of that ilk saying, the board comes in, right, we're going to buy your players. He'd say, F you, I'm off. I want my players. I want influence in the players we bring in here to fit my philosophy, my team.
I don't think it works like that.
Do you think in Man City that's the same up there? That somebody Pep, right, we're buying you these 5 players, just make them into good players. He must have a say on who he wants.
Well, Pep's different though, isn't he? There was a really good video. There was a really good video recently where somebody, I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about the way that fans think about the manager role.
Yeah,
and they made it very, very clear. When Klopp went into Liverpool, Klopp didn't immediately have influence over the players that were signed, but then over time, the longer a coach is at a club, the more influence they have. That's the reality of this. That's the way. That's the reality of the situation. So there is
he gets brought into the system. Then is that what you're saying? He gets brought into that sort of group of transfers or what he
his influence inside
he's
it
trusted
grows
more. Then
he's trusted more. Exactly. Yeah. He's trusted more. He's trusted more to be involved with it. But also he'll build. If it's working, then it's only going to work because he's going to build good relationships with the sporting director, and just through having a good relationship with the sporting director, he'll have more influence. They'll work better together. But at the very start, and let's face it, at Spurs, Ange is one of our longest serving coaches, right? It's like 2 years. Well done.
There's only 3.
Well done, 2 years.
Only 3. Under the Ian, there's only 3 managers that have lasted more than 2 years. Harry Redknapp, Pochettino, and Ange Postecoglou. They're the only
Pochettino is the only one who got a contract extension.
Yeah. If you look under Ivan
and was sacked about 4 months later.
Yeah. If you look under Alan Sugar, how many managers did you think lasted more than 2 years? A few of them under Alan Sugar.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And then if you go back then to Ivan Scholar, how many managers lasted longer under Ivan Scholar?
Yeah, I mean,
I think David Pleat. Yeah, I know it's a different time, but the point I'm making, David Pleat was the shortest manager out of Peter Shreves, who did he do 2? No, he did 1 season. David Pleat did a season and a bit because he kept breaking down, going round corners, being sponsored by the RAC. And the AA.
Aussie only did a
Then
year.
you had, pardon? Was
Aussie
it a
only
year
did
and a bit? He done a year and a bit, I think. He got sacked in November, I think. And then Terry Venables came in and lasted, 3 or 4 years?
Jerry Francis was with us for a good few years.
Was it 5 years? I think Jerry Francis was with us.
Yeah, he was with us for a while.
Did he come? He came in the year we had Klinsmann, didn't he? So 94, 95, he came to manage us. Ozzy got the sack. Steve Perriman did the Blackburn game.
It can't have been 5 years then, because George Graham won us. We won the cup in. We won the cup in '99 with Graham, didn't we?
Was it 4 years then? Must be 4 years then.
But anyway,
but the point I'm trying to make is, even back then,
as we drift into thinking,
we always drift into the past in this channel. You know that. You and me always go back. But if you look at the way managers, George Graham, say for example, right, under Alan Sugar or Ozzy Ardiles, right, I'm going to go out and buy you Jurgen Klinsmann. I'm going to go out and buy you Popescu. I'm going to go out and buy you Dimiescu. 3 World Cup players, right? World stars. Then you look under Pochettino. No, we're not going to go out and buy your players. You're going to have to build this with youngsters, which he did. And managers, I think, at Tottenham have been trusted less with players as the years have gone on, especially under Ranić. Can you really name me?
They're not managers. They're just fundamentally they're not managers anymore.
They're head coaches.
They're head coaches.
Yeah. So
the manager, the manager was called the manager because they managed all of the football club.
Fergie was
Fergie effectively was a modern day sporting director, director of football operations.
He was actually, if you think about it,
who also, because he had his coaches, right? Quiros, McLaren. We mentioned this before. I can't remember who the other ones were. McClare, McClare. Who else?
Mike Phelan.
Harrison. Mike Phelan, that's it. So he used to have his head coaches, and his office used to look over the training ground, and occasionally he would come down, but more often than not, he looked at training was actually just taken. Like Quiros, was most of these guys went on to become head coaches, and in that kind of role.
Harry was a bit like that, wasn't he? Harry wasn't as hands-on as people think he was. Terry Venables wasn't hands-on. He was another one that sort of wasn't hands-on with training, but he would make sure the tactics are right and everything. George Graham was another.
Same as Nigel. Same as Brian
was
Clough.
He more hands-on?
Same as Brian Clough.
Yeah, Brian Clough. Brian Clough is an absolute example of what a manager is. To be fair,
was.
Yeah. A quick question on that. Do you think he was the greatest British football manager ever? Or do you think there's a thing for like Bob Paisley or Alex Ferguson could be called that? He should be in the talking. He should be in the pot, shouldn't he?
Oh, absolutely. It was people don't know just how good that guy was. That guy was absolutely incredible. I mean, he dragged Forest into. I mean, he did well with
Derby.
Who was it? Derby.
Derby
beforehand. Was it Derby? No, wait a minute. Yeah,
it was.
It failed at Leeds. But at Forest, he absolutely dragged them up to be the club that they are the club now because of what he did with them. They were nothing really beforehand. They were a very parochial, very local club.
I'm just reading Peter's last comment. Sorry, you need to get another guest on, someone sexy. We'll try to find one. Anyway.
Yeah. Where were we? So coming back to the point, like, yes, absolute, Mary, we would happily have you.
Yeah.
Happily have you on the show. So I hope that the board are not directly involved in the football transfers. So who's responsible? There needs to be direct responsibility for the different things. And for me, it's quite clear the person who is responsible within the club in January for the January transfer window was Lange.
Yeah. I think he needs to go, by the way.
He does need to go. He's rubbish. He's absolutely useless.
I just want to turn up his head a little bit, right? Just a little bit, right? Turn its head a little bit. If you look at what's if say all hell breaks loose, right? And Tottenham are relegated, okay? Hello, in, out, shake it all around. If Spurs are relegated and we're in the Championship, does a Poch come back? Because there was a report around this week. Tottenham haven't even gone near Poch. They haven't even talked to him about.
Yeah, Alan Brazil said that because Alan
Brazil's comment. Yeah,
Alan Brazil and Poch are quite close, and he said that they've had no contact with him. And I think that's probably. That's probably fair. Yes. I think, and I mean, and to be honest, they shouldn't really be speaking to him whilst he's contracted. And
he is out of contract technically. Good evening, Mr. Jordan, up there in the corner.
Sorry, there needs to be more sex appeal, so I had to bring on myself on with a picture of a very attractive woman. And well, I'm not saying I'm sexy. Just said it needed more sex.
Well, yeah, I agree, Mary. I don't think Poch will come and be our head coach in the Championship.
No. This should be interesting.
Coming back to Simon Jordan. Jordan. I completely disagree with him.
Yeah,
I think I think there's so many things that are wrong with what he said.
Yeah, and
I think he's just stirring the pot.
Yeah. Tequila, this is what he said, bud. You and me both like Simon Jordan. You and me watch Jordan and Simon Jordan and Jim White. People have compared us to White and Jordan. You know, I'm a bit like Jim White. You know, with my yellow tie and that. And Tequila's a bit like Simon Jordan. Rain's a bit like Martin O'Neill.
Wow.
Given the controversial comments. Take that as a compliment. This is what he said, bud. He said, what you're seeing now is a true face of Tottenham Hotspur. This is real ownership. This is what Daniel Levy had been blamed for. True ownership is the Lewis family. Am I right to say that Rain disagrees with it totally? It says it's a load of cobble. It's a load of BS. Doesn't know what he's talking about. He should know better. Being a football owner himself, he should know how corporate business is run, and doesn't agree with it. Where are you on it?
I think Simon Jordan's doing two things: sticking up for his mate, which can be commended, I suppose.
Yeah. And
two, Simon Jordan is in a unique position as a club owner, so he's always going to be able to kind of. There is a bias there. He probably would admit it himself. I think maybe not on air, that he is going to be biased towards the owners because he was an owner, had quite a bad time. If you listen to his stories as an owner, he's happy not being an owner anymore. So he's always going to kind of side with the owner. So I imagine, even though he said that he and Danny Boyd did butt heads over things, which I can certainly imagine with those two characters that we know him as. That there is a kind of a camaraderie there that obviously he's got for him, an understanding. So I think it's mainly him doing that. Because I think he probably does like Levy. He at least respects the man, probably for what he did. But I don't particularly agree with him on this one either. I think that I don't really separate him and the board that much. I think it's more of an extension of the board is Levy. He's more, and he might have had his own certain quirks that maybe this board won't have exactly the same quirks as him, but there's not going to be a drastic difference in anything. The only difference is that Levy probably ran a tighter ship, I suppose, and these guys are still new, trying to figure out their asses from their elbows. But I don't think there's going to be a drastic change in anything really. They said they're going to up the wage bill. Okay, we'll see. And I did hear Rain saying about some of the players' wages, and he's right. But Levy did. You got to remember, it was under Levy's watch that we spunked the rumored 175k a week on Timo Werner.
Yeah,
so
that's very true.
Levy had done this with loans, which is what Paulinho is.
Twice, Tequila.
Twice. Yes, just to rub it in, that extra salt, just to rub it.
We all thought we were blind the first time round. They thought we'd get him again. They forgot what it was like. We might shoehorn him in for the second time. I mean, look, I love Simon Jordan. I probably have to agree with you two on it. I think if you're looking at it from a sensible point of view, yes, I would have to agree with Barry. I really wanted to disagree with you, Brain, but I don't think I can. Though I really wanted to, but I can't. So I would have to agree with everything you're saying. But what I will say is, I think this ownership does still need to go. This ownership is still not good enough to take us to the next level. One thing I do agree with Simon Jordan said, Daniel Levy did build a spaceship. It needs a new captain. That means new owners. And I don't think this ownership or the people, the Enoch family or the Lewis family or the Mickey Mouse family, whatever they're calling themselves now, Enoch 2.25, aren't going to be the ones to take us to the next step. I don't think they've got the know-how. I don't think they've got the experience, and I don't think they know what they're doing. And it says it all when we could all see we needed to change a manager back in November or October to steer us away from where we were heading. And they didn't do anything. Now we're deep in trouble. To get to January, okay, we'll sell Brennan Johnson. We're bringing Conor Gallagher, but that's all you're getting. A few more loans would have beefed out the squad a bit. Then they sack a manager, ruffle around for a few days, or we bring on Igor. Even I had to bloody Google him who he was. And I don't normally have to Google when it comes to football managers or players. I had to Google him. So, I mean, I think they're running around like headless chickens. It's like the lunatics are running the asylum at Tottenham at the moment. And I said this to Rain earlier. I said it to Steve earlier as well, Tequila, that by the time we play Crystal Palace, right, and if we don't get a result against Fulham, say West Ham get a point and we lose against Fulham, West Ham win their game before we play on Thursday, we could line up against Crystal Palace in the bottom three, worst case scenario. And then how much is that psychologically going to affect the players on a Thursday night? If they're in the bottom three, how much psychologically is that going to damage their sort of confidence of going out to get a result against not a great Palace side? So I think Tottenham's in a complete mess at the moment. It's going to take more than one season to sort it out, and I don't even think it'll be sorted out next season. If we stay up, I think we'll get mid-table next season. I don't think we'll be fighting for anything Europe next year because we're still in the mess trying to sort out this mess. This is why we need new owners. It needs new ideas. It needs a clean slate from everyone. New manager, new owners, new players.
Burn it down.
And maybe then we can start moving forward. But if we go into next summer with Enoch 2.25, where I do understand where Rain's coming from, that they are trying to change it. And I do get that point. And I think it's a very good point to make. And it's a very valid point. I just don't think I trust them enough to hire the right people to do the job that we know that these people need doing. So it's going to be an interesting time between now and the summer.
Well, why do you think another owner is going to be any better at choosing the right people? Because you're talking about delegation.
Yeah.
Tell me this perfect owner who's meant to be who's so amazing with delegation.
I don't know who it is, Keela, but can you really trust Enoch to make the right decision?
Well, yeah.
As much as anybody else.
So
what I would
people
say
did
is they need to
Yeah.
hire somebody to look over the whole football. They need to hire somebody who's going to make the footballing decisions. They need to hire somebody who's going to make the footballing decisions, who's going to hire guys like Lange and Vinay. Somebody above that, almost
So
like
is it-
almost like a representation of them, not
Yeah.
them themselves,
So-
because as you said, they have no football knowledge, just like Levy did.
Yeah. So does this Man City guy who's coming in, is he the guy that's going to make these decisions then? This
No.
Man City fella. So he's for something else completely at the football
Well, it needs to
club
be
then,
it needs
is
to
he?
be a proper football man, not another.
Then okay then. Who do then all right, if Phoenix do stay, who do you want them to bring in to make these decisions? Who do you think is good in the game to make these decisions then? What do we need? Do we need
Ashworth.
total
Ashworth, Edwards, Barber, proper footballing CEOs.
what about Paul Mitchell?
Paul Mitchell's never been a CEO. He's
But
always
as
been
a football
sporting
director, as a director
He's
of
been a-
football, would you bring Paul Mitchell back?
I mean, the reality is that in the last 15 years, the only person who's brought us success is Paul Mitchell, in my mind, in my humble opinion.
Not
And people talk about
Paratici, no.
Poch. People talk about Poch. I think Paratici's been better than the rest, but
He's all right,
he's way, way, way down the list compared to Paul Mitchell. People talk about Poch, and I'm very clear. The person who actually brought us five
Was
years
Paul
of
Mitchell.
success was Paul Mitchell.
Was Paul Mitchell? I agree.
Bring them both then. They're both if they're willing to come, put that band back together, so they speak. Then
Can I just say I do agree with Ashworth as well? By the way, I think that would be a brilliant bit of business if they got Ashworth to come to the club. Right, you run it. You it's your show. I think that would be a brilliant bit of business if they did that.
Yeah.
But the owners still have to pump money into the football club. They still have to say, this is your rate structure. We've got to pump. How much do you think we're going to need to rebuild this squad into a decent squad? $500 million?
depends what you mean by decent, mate. What are we talking about here?
Something that's going to, all right,
Mid-table?
a squad that, oh, okay, then let me rephrase it. A squad that's challenging for championships and cups and Champions Leagues.
Cha-
$1 billion? $500 million? $1 billion?
For a league title, I think you're looking at $1 billion. For Champions League, maybe 500 million.
So
Maybe
we need owners that
600,
so-
600.
Okay, so Tequila, you say that. Rain, would you agree with Tequila about $1
I'd
billion,
have
500
to
million?
go and do some analysis.
Yeah, we are going to do a show on the squad, I think, aren't we? I think you said it, didn't you, Tequila, about who would we sell in the summer, and we will do it later on in the year. But who we're going to sell, we will do a loan buy sell. Look, we will come back to that. We will. I think it's a good. I think there's a lot to talk about in that comment and that subject. We will get back to it.
I'm just going to say again. Right?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
The best owners are owners who never get involved.
The ones you don't talk about.
Yeah, exactly. We are obsessed with our owners, and that's because Levy was on the board and CEO, and as a CEO, micromanaged everything.
Yeah.
But in reality, the chairman, right? So people, Charrington came in and people were like, oh, what's he doing? Hopefully, sweet FA. Hopefully, he is doing absolutely nothing. Hopefully, he is on the board and he is managing he's ensuring that the direction and finances of the club are going in the direction that they set out year on year, and not getting involved in the football at all. Not getting involved in the transfer window. Yeah, not getting involved in the transfer window. Not getting involved in who the coach is. Unfortunately, they have stepped. Well, unfortunately or fortunately, they did step in. The best owners are owners you never hear from. We don't talk about Liverpool's owners all the time.
No,
we barely talk about Man City's owners apart from.
I'm going to talk about Man City in a minute.
Apart from
we
the
hear
charges,
a lot of Man United owners. We hear a lot about them.
but that's because they are fleecing the club.
Right. So who's the worst owners then? And that question then, you two, Yes, or who's the worst? Who's the worst owners? ENIC or the Glazers?
ENIC.
Depends if you're judging it on football or not.
Well, no, I'm judging that on everything. You take everything into account. You take the football inside, the business side. You take everything into account. Well, you've gone for ENIC, right?
ENIC have not brought football success. They have farmed Tottenham Hotspur fans for money. Let's all of this. They're great businessmen. They're great businessmen for themselves, right? And Levy was a great businessman for himself, and increasing his, the capital that he had by 20, 30 times where the capital that was invested in the club. But the business of football is winning trophies. So he wasn't a great businessman. So
it's always glory before profit, isn't it? That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'll go
ENIC as well, but I think Glazers are close, but I think ENIC just for the amount of time as well. It's 25 years.
But it's quite funny, guys. Yeah, it is. It's quite funny. You ask Man United fans, they say we've got the better runners than they have. They were lauding Daniel Levy.
Yeah, but I've spoken to some Man United fans recently.
So we.
If I'm brutally honest, I think they need to understand what the actual. Well, okay, look. Let's put it like this. In the summer, both of our clubs. So we finished 16th. We finished 17th.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Where did we finish? 17th.
17th.
We finished 17th, and they finished 15th. Right? 15th or 16th. Right. We both finished just outside the relegation zone. They went and spent 250, almost 300 million on forwards. Their club. Right?
Yeah.
We didn't.
No.
They have repetitively, whatever you want to say about the way that they have fleeced, they have farmed cash out of Man United.
Yeah.
They've always also sought to have some sort of footballing success.
Yeah,
they've backed their managers. They have actually backed their managers. If you look, they pay a lot of wages as well.
Did they? Well, look what they spent in the summer, Tequila. Look at the players.
And it was us who qualified for the Champions League. It was us who won Europa, but you wouldn't know it.
And you wouldn't know it now. You would think Man United won that. I wonder winning that Europa League was a curse. Yeah, it gave us the best night of our lives and the best parade ever, but always makes you wonder what season 3 would have been like. I always wonder. I know Tequila says that's the biggest nightmare.
Just because Frank failed does not mean the other one was any better. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, could he have done any worse?
I've upset Colm.
Yes, you have.
What have you? Hang on. Let's see. You need to understand. We still owe. Yeah, this is the other point as well, which I was going to speak to him. This is true. It says you need to understand. We still owe 500 million in transfers. Have debt on the club, the value of 1.3 billion. Looking at a building new stadium and debt taken into 2.3 billion. They haven't put. They've used to buy players. If I'm right, Colin, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. It's the loans they've taken out on the club's name. And yes, they've spent money. Yes, they've backed managers. Yes, they've bought players, but they used it by loans, leverage on loans, on more loans of the club's name. ENIC and Daniel Levy couldn't even do that right. And personally, I'm going to be honest.
The comeback to what you're saying is that you have had some degree of success under the Glazers. I think pretty much everything you said also applies to ENIC.
Yeah,
maybe they're just both crap.
They're both crap. It's a competition of who's the worst.
Yeah.
Not who's the least worst.
Dumb and Dumber.
Right. You two have gone with Enoch, right?
I
would
said,
rather
I,
have
I
the
said it was close because I do think it's close.
Yeah.
But
I would rather have the Glazers in charge of us if it meant we were going to get football success than having Enoch with no success.
yeah, but
Football's all
United,
about glory.
but United have fallen. United had a lot further to fall down than we did. Remember that.
Yeah, but the
They have
point is-
fallen down massively. So
Yeah.
they've won more than us. Granted, they've won the FA Cups,
Yeah.
League Cups, right? They have, but they're nowhere near challenging for the league and haven't been in donkey's years now. So they have
Well-
had a massive fall from grace under the Glazers as well.
Well, I think they won the league title on the Glazers, actually. I think they did win the league title.
Yeah, I mean, but they might have done it at the start, but then under their watch, they've completely,
I mean, a columnist says they haven't. We have used money from
What have you
financial
started
sources.
there, Mo? What have you started?
I thought it was a good conversation.
Gonna be a
They
war.
haven't. We have
No,
used money.
no. Cole's wrong. The Enoch. Oh no. I see what you're saying. But so Enoch have not invested any of their own money in the football club. What they did was they bought Alan Sugar's shares. So I do understand. I do understand what you're saying about how the Glazers bought Manchester United, but in terms of how both groups have actually operated and run the football clubs, they're fundamentally very, very similar. Which I still think is absolutely wrong. That Man City have taken on all of the liability for investing in Manchester, not just Manchester City, the football club, but the area around Manchester City as well. They've done massive infrastructure investment. No, Colm. No, they didn't. I'm not going to get into it. That's not what happened. We can have a discussion another time. Otherwise, we'll go down a rabbit hole. Manchester City have taken on all of the liability for the Manchester City owners, all the liability for investing into the club, and yet they are the ones that are being punished. Whereas Enoch and the Glazers, who effectively have leveraged the revenues that have come from the fans to build up their own portfolio, are fine, and that's fundamentally wrong.
Yeah, right. We're going to move on.
Yeah,
we're going to move on. Hang on, I'm just going to say right. Okay, yeah. On the 9th of October, 2025, at 10 o'clock in the morning, Enoch did say, "We are pleased to announce our majority shareholder, Lewis Family Trust, has through Enoch Sports Development Holdings Limited, Enoch injected 100 million of new capital into the club." So I think he's saying they did put in 100 million of new.
He doesn't understand what it's effectively what they did is what they did was they used a mechanism to dilute everybody else's shares. They
bought shares off people.
No, they effectively injected capital into the business. It's never. Let's face it, we haven't seen any of it, right? They keep on talking about war chest. Effectively, it just goes onto the balance sheet and it just dilutes. It goes into reserves and it just dilutes the shareholding on the equity and liability side of the balance sheet. That's all they've done. They haven't put it there for us to spend it. They put it there. It's an accounting mechanism. It's not actually. It's not like they went, "Here's 100 million. Keep Harry Kane." That isn't what happened. What happened was it's an accounting mechanism for them to increase the value of their shares comparative to other people's.
Well, look, that's a topic we'll make sure columns on for that one, and we will do a topic on that. I think that'd be interesting. That one, that would be an interesting sort of an interview. Anyway, guys, I want to move on. I want to talk about a little bit about Igor and his press conference today, and saying this is the biggest rescue job he's ever had to do. and led to the question: can Igor save Spurs? Is he? Do you think, guys, he's now realizing the mammoth task he has to save Tottenham Hotspur and keep them in the Premier League? And Tequila, I'm going to start with you, bud. It comes to Fulham. How important is it that he gets his tactics right on Sunday? He gets the team right. He gets the formation right. We know Danso's going to return. We know Porro's going to return. Does that give you any bit of confidence that we can get results and that he can save us?
Look, I'm not overjoyed at Tudor, but I have to also say that I haven't seen enough of him to know the quality. I think it's baffling in my mind to not choose somebody who knows the league. That's the part that I just can't get my head around, or maybe even the teams. I mean, how much you think as somebody in the footballing industry, right, that he's going to at least have watched other games, right? You would assume that he's watched the Premier League, and I'm sure that he has watched Premier League, but how much? I don't know. So I just wonder how much he knows about Fulham. In what he's been here 2 weeks. How much does he, do you think, know about Fulham? Not a big team in the Premier League. How much do you think he knows about Fulham? How much work and time do you think he's put into it? I've just my doubts. This is why I wanted somebody who knew the league, even if it's not Harry Redknapp. Fine, that was my pick. All right, but then even a Sam Allardyce, I know it sounds silly, right? But I would have gone with that. He knows he knows the league. I only want 3 wins. I ain't after great football. I've given up thinking this team can't do great football as it is. So I don't expect great football. I want 3 wins, and then that's it. Goodbye season. Good night. I'll see you in the summer. That's it. So he's probably going to play 3 at the back. I wouldn't, but what do I know? But that's obviously his formation. That means that probably Dragusin is going to start. That isn't. Am I alone in thinking that Dragusin has shown us nothing in a Spurs shirt now? And how many opportunities are we going to give this dude?
There's some sort of stat. There's some sort of stat going round that Dragusin has only been involved. I can't remember whether it was 3 or 4 wins since he joined.
It's bad. It's bad.
Tottenham Hotspur, and one of them was Luton. It was like.
Hang on, was that the game where Bazuma just fell over his own laces?
Probably. Really took a dive.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We are going to talk about diving, and the referee going on telly, by the way, and he went on Sky with Michael Owen and said,
"Wait, we're drifting. Can we keep?"
No, I'm not. I'm just telling what's come up, but I want to make a point on what Tequila said about Dragusin and about the squad and about the formations. We know 3 at the back doesn't work. We looked at Manchester United play 3 at the back under Amron. It didn't work. It just doesn't work in the Premier League for some reason.
Not unless we've got Romero, Danso, and Van de Ven. They're 3. I think we've got 2 very good centre halves, and Danso I think is good enough. Right?
I think Danso's a better centre half than Dragusin, if I'm being honest.
No, of course he is. That's what I mean. So we've only got 3 players, right? And one of them is still suspended. So don't play 5 at the back.
So this is the back 5. Then you play 3, and then you play Porro and Spencer as your wing backs, right? If you're playing that,
I don't want Dragusin playing though.
No, if you're playing Van de Ven, Romero, Danso, Porro, Jez Spence as wing backs.
Yeah, we can't play Romero. He won't be back by Fulham.
He will be back for the Palace game, I think.
Palace, not Fulham.
Okay, but not Fulham.
Yeah. Then for Palace, that's what I'm saying. For Palace, you play the wing backs of Porro and Jez Spence. You've got a back 3 of Mickey Van de Ven, Christian Romero, Kevin Danso. You've got a midfield 2 of Palunia and, say, Archie Gray or Gallagher. Gallagher and Palunia. You've got Papa Sarr in the 10 or Xavi in the 10. And then you play whoever on the left. You play whoever on the right. You play Solanke up front.
Oh, my God.
Or do you play 2 up front? Because this formation does switch into playing 2 up front. You can play a Morani and a Solanke up front, or have Solanke go deep, play Morani as the number 9, Solanke as the little just off the striker, and Xavi as the 10. And then your wing backs or your wing is effectively bombing up and down that wing, a bit like Danny Rose and Kyle Walker back in the day. Is that a team that would get us out of trouble?
Right. So the question is, okay, formations. You have to put that to one side. He's going to play 3-4-3, right? That's what he's going to play. He's going to play 3-4-3 like he did against like he did against Arsenal. That's the way we are now going to line up.
It works in the Premier League. I
don't have a problem with 3-4-3. I don't have a problem with 3-4-3 at all.
I do. It doesn't work.
I do.
Like
I don't mind. I do because of the players have got. If I really
get it.
If Romero was fit for the Fulham game, then maybe. I don't think Dragon should be playing. And don't say put Paulinho. You put Paulinho in the centre half, then we lose him for the midfield. Why are we doing this again? Why are we playing again square pegs in round holes again?
Because we don't have the squad to do it.
Because we've got a rubbish squad. I'm just going to say, Conte won the league with Chelsea with 3-4-3.
Back in the day, yeah.
Man, what do you mean back in the day? It wasn't that long ago.
Oh, it's still back in the day.
Okay.
When did Conte last won the league with Chelsea? When was it? 2011, 2012, 2013?
2019, wasn't it? 2019?
Yeah, was it as recent as that?
I don't think it was. I just don't like three at the back.
Somebody can go and find that out. But 3-4-3 is a very viable solution for a football club, especially a football club down close to the bottom of the league. I 100% agree with Tequila. It's with both of you actually. It's not about formation. It's about players. It's about who you actually put on the football pitch, and are they in the right roles? Like, because you were talking about Spence. You know how I feel. In fact, actually, I feel even. I think
he's
I
not
feel
good
even more strongly.
Not good offensively, is he, to play a wing back?
I feel exactly, and also he's not he can't play on the left hand side. He just absolutely fundamentally can't play on the left hand side. Yeah. Completely destroys our whole team, and it destroys the whole dynamic of the team. I feel even more. I don't know. I feel at least as strongly about Spence not playing at left back. Can you see I'm in some sort of disco here? It's because I've got a TV on here and I've got the Forest game.
2016-17, he last won the league.
So it's 2017. So 9 years ago. That wasn't that long ago. And
but football has evolved since then. Football has changed from what it was then to now. Formations have evolved.
It's evolved so much that you want to go to a back four, which was what was being played.
Back four works with us. We don't work. I don't care who we got. A back three is not going to work. Man United tried a back three for God knows how long under Amarin. Didn't get them anywhere. Michael Carrick comes back in.
I'm not going to argue. My point is, I don't want to argue about the formation because he's going to play 3-4-3. So it's like, what's the point in arguing about it?
He's an idiot then.
Well, okay.
Managers no, I get it. I get what you're saying. It's not about formations. I do understand what you're saying. But surely, as a manager, you have to evolve in what you're seeing in front of you. Surely, if you know you're playing, say, Fulham, away from home, wouldn't you want to set up in a way you're going to be solid at the back, tight at the back, but have enough to get forward? If you're playing three at the back, are you leaving yourself slightly wide open for Fulham to counter-attack us?
It doesn't matter.
Because we haven't got the best defenders.
It doesn't matter. He's going to play 3-4-3.
So he's that stubborn. He's going to play. That's it.
He's not stubborn. He's just like every single other manager in the world. This idea that fans have that you play different formations is for the birds. No manager does it. They all play the same formation. They all play the formation that they want to play. They all have a way of working, and it's when you actually start thinking about it logically, it makes 100% sense. What they do is they train the players to play a certain formation. That learning how to play that formation is really, really important because it builds up muscle memory. It builds up the memory that when I've got the ball, I know that somebody's going to be on my left-hand side. I know that somebody's going to be in front of me. That's the way it should
get
be.
that.
When Van der Ven runs forward, when they're playing in a back three, when Van der Ven runs forward, the other two know that they've got to tuck in. They've got to cover him. You know, it's about the team working effectively and being trained to operate as a unit. So, you know, the people who were saying that Frank was going to play a different formation every game were deluded. There's no coach in the world does that. None. The closest you get is someone like Ancelotti, who basically doesn't train players to do any kind of formation. He just gets the best players and then chucks them out there and tells them to play the way, like Harry Redknapp used to do. Just go and play the way you want to play.
Going along with your logic, then of is going to stick to a three at the back.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you both a question on this, probably just a yes or no, and then we can go in depth if you want to. But Tequila, do you think he will be drumming that into the players this week in training? Do you think he'd be really knocking them in? But do you trust a Dragoson or a Jed Spence to fulfill the roles that he needs them to do if you are playing that system?
No, Jed Spence is a right back, not a right wing back. He's a right back, so he doesn't fit this formation. Full stop. Dragoson is not a very good defender from what I've seen, and because Romero's out, we shouldn't be playing three at the back. Rain's right; he will play three at the back because that's what he's always played. But so why would he just there is an argument to be said that you need to fit the formation for your players, and that's a very valid argument, but most of the time that doesn't happen. You could argue that maybe he should, but he won't.
I do understand where you both are coming from, right? I'm not completely deluded enough to not understand I understand where you're coming from, and you're probably right in what you're saying. I just want him to realize if he hasn't got the players to play this formation, then he has to try something that I did see the question, by the way. I did have that started.
Let's not get sidelined.
So I just feel he has to look at each game as a single game.
Okay.
If he's going to get more out, right? If he's going to get more out of Fulham by playing four at the back.
Right. So Dermot, if the question is, can Igor save Spurs? And if you were saying the only way he can save Spurs is to be pragmatic on a game-by-game basis and go each game as it comes, and if I therefore tell you he's not going to do that, are you saying that he can't save us? Because that's what it sounds like.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
So I completely agree. I don't think, and I'm going to go back to our good friend, Mr. Clark. Where is it?
Big up, Brenny.
Where is it? So it was.
That one.
Where? One sec. No, it was way up. It was way up. He answered the question a long, long time ago. We'll find it. We'll find it. Wait a minute. There we go. 8:38.
Thank you. God, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Spurs fans actually think that no, that wasn't it. 8:38.
Yeah, that is 8:38.
No.
Can Igor save is a fallacy. The only players who can save Spurs from is these half-wit players.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that was. I thought he said something about Ange. The only people who can save Spurs from relegation is these half-wit players, and that is absolutely.
Yeah. You said about Ange.
Yeah, no. So it was. So I agree. Not that one. The other one. I absolutely. When we were talking about it backstage, what David has said is what I was going to say. There is Igor can do very, very little to impact the only people who can get us out of the hole that we're in are the players. And unfortunately, the biggest problem that we've got is that Igor has got exactly the same problem that Frank had, which is he's going to have to drag us in, my learned colleague above.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to play Spence at fullback.
Yeah.
And it comes down to those kind of fundamentals.
It is. I mean, Tequila, look, before we move on, where are you on this? We don't have, we have players at the moment that don't fit a system, any system at the moment. We're too lopsided on one side, then we're too light on the other. So you're Igor, what do you do on Sunday? It's like throwing mud against the wall and hoping it sticks.
If I'm Igor, what I do is I look at my team, I analyze the team, and then I try to adapt. That doesn't mean you have to play a formation you absolutely hate. It just means if he really looks at the players, and he needs to try to think to himself, okay, so as much as I want to play 3-4-3, if I had a transfer window and everything, then fine, I'll buy the players to play it. And Rain's right, trying to teach him to play it, but we haven't got the time. He's come in. There's 3 months left. We can't wait another month or 6 weeks for him to drum into them how to play a 3-4-3. I doubt he cares that much because he knows he's not going to be the manager next year anyway, unless barring a miracle and he wins the Champions League with us. He's not going to be the manager next year anyway. So I wonder how much he actually cares. Really? So he's probably not going to adapt, but I think he probably should. If he looks at us and says, well, hold on a second, we don't have the defenders to play this formation. And I'm going to put my best holding, maybe my only proper holding midfielder I've got to now move him as a centre half now, leaving me short in the midfield.
Yeah, we're absolutely we're on Dermot's round pegs and square holes.
So
all over the pitch.
I don't think he will. I think he will play a 3-4-3. I think he'll be stubborn. He certainly comes across as that kind of a stubborn man. He comes across that way anyway. That he is quite a stubborn gentleman, just like Conte was. He comes across that way. It is going to be his way or the highway. He 100% comes across that way. And the thing is, for him, he'll leave here no matter what, and his reputation probably won't be that damaged. For us, because cost us our status in the league.
I mean, he was asked in the press conference, was that Raddy's used the word relegation in conversation with his squad, and he says, no, I haven't. This is the problem. He needs to let the players know where they are. By not letting them know, players are not stupid. If players know they're in a relegation battle, that might get back into the back of their head thinking, okay, we've got to do something here. And it's like he's protecting the players. And he was all positive when he first came in. I ain't going to get us out of relegation. I ain't going to save us. And now it's all like doom and gloom. It's like he's seen the light. And go, oh, shit. What have I come into?
I'm confused. Sorry, Dermot. I'm confused.
Hang on, Rain. Just one. I just want to add one more thing on this. Sorry. Well, it's in my head. I just feel the players don't have a clue what we're in. The only ones that do care is us fans, and we know what we're in. The owners don't know what position we're in. The owners are sort of walking around thinking we're too big to go down. The players think we're too big to go down. The manager thinks we're too big to go down. I'm not going to use the word relegation. The only one who does know where we are and how we're facing and what we are, the trouble we are in, is us.
I don't agree with you, Dermot.
And it shouldn't take a brain. It shouldn't take a brain.
I know you're being very passionate about this.
To work out. Well, I am being passionate because I'm going to get my words out. We don't have to be a brain bloody. You don't have to be a Nobel Peace winner to work out the shit we're in. And if the manager's saying to the players, "I am sorry, I'm not using that," then he's an absolute fool.
Right.
He really is.
So I don't agree with you. It's absolutely clear that considering how Frank's been sacked and Tudor's been hired, that they are panicking. They do realise that we're in a relegation scrap. You know, admittedly, I think 6 weeks too late. They
I
realised
agree with that.
they should have done something in January. So, but Igor Tudor should not be talking to the players about relegation. There's this thing in when you're coaching people, when you're doing mentoring and stuff, and it's called positive mental attitude. And the best way that I've ever seen it described is like this: if you've got a kid and there's a small stream that they need to jump over, and you tell the kid, try not to fall in. Don't fall in. Don't fall in. Yeah, don't fall in. Don't fall in. So if you're negative, there is a statistically, they've done tests. They've done scientific tests. There is a greater chance that they will fall in than if you say something like, "You're going to jump that. You're going to jump that. You're going to jump over that." If you give a positive message, the brain literally makes it happen, or is more likely to make it happen than if you create a negative message, right?
Yeah.
So he should absolutely not be talking to the players about relegation. He should absolutely be talking to the players about what they can do to positively impact to get better results. He shouldn't be making them scared.
Okay, Tequila, do you agree with Rain? Where are you standing on this? Should he be talking should he be telling the players about relegation, or do you agree with Rain that no, he shouldn't do? It should be all about MPA. It should be about not looking what's ahead of you, but trying to relax them enough to hopefully good performance to come out if they're not stressed about or worried about relegation.
You're putting words in my mouth. I'm not talking about making them relaxed. I'm talking about positive things rather than negative things. Being relegated is a negative. You're putting words in my mouth. I still think they should be stressed, but I think they should be stressed to deliver positive actions, not negative ones.
Yeah. I mean, where are you on it, Tequila? Where are you on it, bud?
I think, in my opinion, a real good manager, though he might not have time for this. This is the problem. I don't know if he's going to have time to do it. He needs to obviously assess the players individually. I understand what Rain's saying about trying to bring a positive atmosphere, but some players are going to react to different things. Some players will need to kick up the backside. Some players might have respect for somebody who tells them the truth. There might be some characters in the dressing room who already know about relegation. Of course, well, they're all going to know about relegation, but there might be some who just got different characteristics. So they might want somebody who's going to be blunt with them and tell them to their face how it is. Other players will need a cuddle. They might need a pat on the back. Maybe some of the younger players, and that is a skill set amongst itself. Does he have this skill set? I have no idea. I don't know. This is where
your leaders in the dressing room need to stand up.
Well, yeah, sure, you're right, but we have very few of them to start with. I can think of maybe two, maybe. Probably the same two that you're thinking of that we all are. There's not many leaders in this group, Dermo. Let's be honest, in this player group, there's not many. So. I think it's you take it on an individual basis. I understand what Rain's saying. Jess, generally, you don't want to kind of be flooding them with negativity, but it's going to be based on the characters. And I don't know the characters any more than the rest of you do, because none of us are in the dressing room, right? No, all we've got to go on is their past experiences and how they seem to react to things. This group of players, in my opinion, is mentally fragile anyway. It looks that way to me already.
They are. Look, question here from We Are Spurs TV. It says, do you guys agree with Stell that if we get relegated in Ipswich, Enoch are not going to sell if we get relegated? Not hell's chance, because they're not going to get the money they want for the football club. Enoch will be around like a bad smell until we got back up to the Premier League, and then they'll probably get the money they want then. If we
no businessman worth their salt sells an asset when it's at its lowest.
No. Agree with everything you've said. I think Stell is deluded.
Three of us have agreed. It's the first time tonight we've all agreed. Yeah. What did you say? Sorry, I didn't get the last bit.
I think Stell is deluded in this way. Stell wants to hurt Enoch, and unfortunately, relegation will only hurt the fans and will only hurt the club.
I probably would have to agree with that. Tequila, would you agree with that? I know we all want it to go, but is there a way of doing it? Getting relegated is not going to do it. It's not going to help them out the door, is it?
Getting relegated won't make them go, no, but I can understand why being upset with Vinnick. I think we all are. The majority of us are all upset with Vinnick, so I'm not angry at anyone for that. But yeah, I mean, the only way that would happen is if we spent multiple years in the Championship. Like then I could see them maybe selling, but after multiple years in the Championship, and if we ended up doing a Leeds or a Forest where we're gone for 15, I'm not saying they'd last 15 years, but if we were gone for
Sunderland went down twice. Sunderland went down twice, mate.
So did Luton. So it can happen.
And Southampton.
Yeah. So, but they certainly won't go next year. They certainly won't sell because the idea they'll go back up. Now, if we were to go down and we didn't get back up, that's a whole different disaster anyway. We're going to be worrying about a hell of a lot more than just that.
It's like Mike Ashley at Newcastle, wasn't it? Newcastle got relegated. Didn't get rid of Mike Ashley. The only time he went was when they were in the Premier League.
Yeah, because normally you get a year to save yourself. Because if you can get yourself up in the first year, you can kind of mitigate a lot of the damage. But if you don't, and you end up that you're getting stuck like a Leeds or like a Forest, that's it.
It's that parachute payment, isn't it? We get if we did go down, we do get a parachute payment. I think it's 120 odd million. I think Tottenham get as a parachute payment. Doesn't last into the second year. Do you think we got enough about us if we did go down that we would get straight back up? Are you confident of that happening?
Depends who leaves.
If we did go down,
depends which players are left. Don't know. It's really hard to say.
But surely we should have. Surely we should have enough about us to get out the Championship at the first attempt.
No. The biggest problem if we get relegated will be who is going to do all of the wheeling and dealing in the summer that needs to happen. We come back to we come back to the rudderless club that we are. Yeah, is Lange going to sell half the squad and get players in who are going to be? And we don't only want to get players in who are going to get us out of the Championship. We want to do what Villa did. We want to get players who are going to get us out of the Championship and then get us back into the top half if we get relegated. Get us back into the top half of the Premier League. Right? They went and they bought McGinn when they were in the Championship, Villa. And he's been an absolutely fantastic player for them in the Premier League. That's the type of player that you want to go and get. Lange isn't going to go and get those types of players. He's going to have to sell half the squad, and we're going to have to buy 10 or 15 players.
Yeah, no, I'm probably Tequila. Would you? I agree with that. I don't think you're too far off that yourself, are you, bud?
Well, it's hard to have faith with our recruitment on anything right now, isn't it? Our recruitment has been poor for a number of years. Paratici's not there anymore. I know Rain says that he's not. There wasn't that amazing. I agree that he wasn't amazing. He was the best of a bad bunch, I suppose.
Yeah.
But other than Mitchell, who what he said about that, who has been good for us recruitment wise?
I mean, you're choosing from Hitchin, Lange. I mean, this is an absolute.
I think we've got enough in our. If we were to keep the same team, which we know won't happen, we know certain players will go no matter what. But if we can keep the crux of the majority of our players, we've probably got enough to come back up. Probably, because we do still have quality in our. I'm talking like a Maddison. Maddison, if he's back next year, if he were to stay, Conor Gallagher, another good player. If he were to stay, Xavi, I think Xavi could go. To be honest, I think he's one he probably could go. Romero, Van de Ven, they're gone, right? So we Dragosin might stay. I think Danzo would stay. So it all depends on how many of our base team now should be enough to get us back up. It's how many of them are going to go, and if we can find replacements, and it's going to be really difficult getting replacements in the Championship.
That's going to be the hardest thing, Tequila.
It is. Yeah. It really will. Just very quickly. Well, I was going to bring up one point before we finish. This last point. Man City. Now, there has been a lot of rumours going around, or a lot of press being put around that. They might be looking at a 60-point deduction, right? So if they get it this season, that would definitely save Spurs from relegation. But they're looking to start next season on 60 points, minus 60. Do you feel for a product, because the Premier League are also looking to go out on their own, looking to do a Netflix style channel where you're paying €10 a month for all the games you want to see? Do you feel that the Premier League are trying to hold off because they don't damage the product they are trying to sell? But even if Man City are guilty, and if they are found to have broken rules, surely it doesn't matter who they are. They should be treated as equal as any other club within the Premier League. Akila, do you think this goes above football? Do you think this also goes into government political realms as well because of oil and gas and everything else that Saudi Arabia or the Middle East do bring into the UK and the EU? Do you think there's more to it than just football?
I hope there isn't. I don't really want to go down that road, if I'm honest. I hope there isn't. All right. I just want to look at it from the football stuff. Yes, 60 points. That would save us. Funny enough, that would. There you go. That would save us.
Would it save Wolves?
No. But I'd like to see him. Just my personal opinion. I'd like to see a multi-year punishment for City, not just a one and done. I'd like to see them.
So what does a multi-year punishment look like to you?
Several year transfer ban. Several year points deduction. Not 60 point. No, that's 60 points every season. Probably is too much. But I mean something that will hinder them for a number of years. If I wanted to throw the whole book at them, I would even say I wouldn't throw them out of the league, but I would send them to Division 2, and I'd also give them a points deduction every year for maybe 5 seasons, so they can't just come flying back because otherwise
do a Rangers on them.
Yes, but like I say, a transfer ban that's got to be in place as well. I think a multiple points deduction every season, so not just a one season thing. Look, if you relegate them, they come flying back next season, and then they resume trading. Nothing changes.
The board need to go. The board need to go. They would need to sack the board as well. They would have to go. I mean, rain for you, and then we'll get where people can find you. What?
Why'd you say that?
What? The board have to go?
Yeah.
Because how could if that board has broken the rules and has broken the rules that they shouldn't have broken? How could they go into a Premier League meeting and that every other club there know them people broke the rules? How could they trust them on what they're saying if they've been found guilty of breaking the rules?
So the Premier League is going to force Manchester City's owners to sell the club.
I will find the article, and that was it was the same thing in the article. I'll send the article and I'll send it to you. I will send you the article.
There is no way in on this planet that the Premier League are going to force the Manchester City owners to sell their club.
The owners would have to sort out in-house for themselves. But if say you broke the rules, right? You broke the rules. You done something you shouldn't have been doing, and you were found guilty of doing it. Found guilty.
Then you get punished.
Yeah. But if you come into a meeting with me and Tequila, and we both know, how can we trust you that you're not going to do the same thing again or try to do something else to get a leverage or get ahead of the competition?
That's your problem. It's not my problem.
See, I think there should be also accountability for the people in Man City that did this.
But Dermot, we come back to the Premier League cannot force Manchester City owners to sell their club, and I think the fit and proper persons test is only available to them for people who are purchasing, not for people who are current. They literally can't do what you're saying.
I think. Look, I agree. There should be. So I think 60 points. I don't agree with points deductions every season. I don't know how that would work. But a massive fine, ban from transfers, and a massive points deduction. I think that's what they should do. But are they scared of damaging their product? Because the Premier League is the biggest product in the world.
Well, the reason why I said that, Mo, regarding every season is because I want to stop them from just flying back through the leagues. Because that's
No,
what
I
they do.
understand what you're saying. How would that work, though? It's the Premier League have to get this right, don't they?
Well,
They have
it'd have
to
to be
get it spot
it'd
on.
have to be whatever they considered a fair point. I mean, like 8 points wouldn't be enough because City will still play. We're talking about 20 or 30 points each season to make it a real ask. That I mean, they can still do it. They can still get in, but to make it a bit of a challenge for them, club they're going to blitz. They're going to blitz everybody. If they go back to League Two and there's no point deduction, just for argument's sake, imagine what they'll do to the rest of that league. They will absolutely annihilate them. Then they'll annihilate League One, and they'll probably annihilate the Championship well, and then they'll be back in 3 or 4 seasons. Is that harsh enough punishment? I don't think it is.
Probably. So we'll end up on this. Should they? Sorry, go on. Sorry, but go on.
Tequila, look what Wrexham have done on a fraction of the budget.
Exactly.
The
I mean,
only thing
even Rangers got back within a couple of seasons, and that was only 2 divisions.
Well, didn't Rangers have to reinvent themselves completely as a new club? I read somewhere they actually had to liquidate old Rangers and start again as new Rangers.
I don't know. I don't remember if they had to start again, but
I think some. So look, my last question on this, and we'll end off on it then. What do you think Man City will get, and when do you think it will come out?
For starters, the story that I've seen says that it won't be this season anyway. And it won't be retrospective. So that's what. So it's not going to save us. I'm in the unique position, which is in itself not unique, of not thinking. I just think these are trumped up charges. I hate these rules. I think they're punishing the wrong people. I think they should be punishing people like Enoch and the Glazers, not people like Manchester City. I think the Manchester City owners are actually good owners of football club.
That's a whole new perspective on it. I've never heard that perspective before, actually.
I haven't. I mean, I literally said it earlier in the stream.
Yeah, I know, but anyone I've heard, you look at all the finance people that come on to talk sports, never said what you've just said. I agree on what you said. The right people need to be punished, but surely the people that did this within the club should be punished. I think the ones
let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way, right? Newcastle, yeah. Why are the Saudi owners of Newcastle stopped from spending their own money on
because of Man City,
on Newcastle Football Club?
Because what Man City did. Okay,
because of what Man City did, but why are those rules in place?
Because there's new FFP and PSR rules in.
No. You're saying what, not why. The reason why those rules are in place is because owners like Levy don't want to invest their own money, so they don't want to compete with owners who are going to invest their own money.
Oh, I get you.
So Saudi Arabia, the Saudis just want to literally just give Newcastle money, and they want to take all of the liability on themselves, not on the club.
So
whereas the Glazers and Enoch, all of the debt is on the club, not the owners. Not on the owners. So as soon as they leave, the club is still 800 million in debt or 1.3 billion in debt. Whereas at Manchester City, all of the debt is literally within the shares. So all of the liabilities within the shares and not in loans or other things that are saddled onto the club.
So let me get this right.
It's on different parts of the balance sheet.
So the debt, say Man City, is with the people that own shares within the football club. It's not on the club itself. So if that person leaves the football club, he has to take that debt with him. Where the likes of the Glazers, we know the debt's on the football club, and we know Tottenham are 900 something, but that didn't follow Levy out the football club because the debt's put in the football club's name and on the football club's books not them, or not on their own personal.
Yeah, well,
fortune
Levy
if
hasn't
I've got
left the
that
club in that sense, has he? Because he's still
Yeah,
because
well, I
he's
know,
still a
but it's
shareholder
just-
in Enoch, and Enoch
yeah.
sells shares.
But
So
if
so
he does sell his
literally,
shares, it's got nothing to do with him. He can just walk away scot free and just say the debt's not mine. Is
yeah.
that
So
have I got
so
that right?
yeah. So Man City are being punished because they've given the Manchester City owners are being punished because they have given Manchester City money by inflating sponsorship. So they've literally just given them cash. That's what they've done, and they're being punished for it. They're being punished for financial doping. And quite frankly, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with. I do have a problem with people putting loans onto clubs to invest. I don't have a problem with owners going, I'm going to, like Jack Walker, I'm going to literally build a stadium and give it to you. It's all my money. I'm just going to give it to you. The club doesn't owe me a thing. And that's the way that the Manchester City owners have done it.
Yeah, I think that putting it that way, Tequila, makes sense, doesn't it? It does. Then you can understand why people like Levy and they just don't want these rules changed. Then, doesn't it? Because it suits them.
I understand about
But
the
I
whole
do-
sugar daddy.
Sorry, Tequila, just very quickly. I do understand why a lot of people, and I do respect, like Tequila's opinion, which is there's sporting integrity. I do understand and respect that, though.
There is. Do
Sorry,
you
sorry,
agree?
Tequila.
What were you going to say, Bud? Go on.
Like, I understand the idea, the concept behind the sugar daddy, right? And I don't think that in itself is wrong. But they have broken a lot of laws when it comes to other things as well. And that's the stuff that I think I'm most bothered at than anything else. The actual idea of somebody coming in, as you guys have said, then we should penalise Jack Walker then as well. If it comes to just a private person who loves the club, even though these guys aren't private, it's a state, but it's the same concept. Roman Abramovich as well. Did he do anything wrong? Wrong? Not really. And let's be honest as well. He was rumored to be coming to us. The reports were to start with he was going to try and buy us. And honestly, let's be honest, if he would have bought us and we'd have had the success Chelsea had, we'd all be fine with it. We would.
No, do you know what? We would. If we're being hypocrites, of course we would. Of course we would. Do you know what? I feel sorry for Newcastle fans.
It's the concept that I'm not against, but they have broken a lot of other laws. That stuff is a bit different. But the actual concept,
I agree with you. I feel sorry for Newcastle fans. When they came in, they thought there's waving the flags and we're going to win the league, we're going to win the Champions League, and then they come in and went, "Oh, we can't do what we want to do now because of Man City." Have we can't do it because what they've done. Look, I think
they're the richest club. They're the richest club in the world.
It's club in the world. Newcastle. It's quite funny, actually. They are the richest club. Look, I think what needs to happen very quickly is there needs to be rules put in. This never happens again. Rightly or wrongly, Man City need to be punished on some level. What for whatever. I think there should be new proper tests put in for ownerships coming in to buy football clubs. You don't get another Glazer or you don't get another Enoch. And this leveling debt against a football club has to be looked at as well. You shouldn't be able to do that. If you haven't got the money to buy that football club or the finances to operate that football club, then you shouldn't be owning the football club. You shouldn't be able to go to a bank and say, right, I want to leverage, I don't know, 300 million or $1 billion. Oh, but I'm going to put that on the club's that's the club's debt to pay, not mine. And then when you sell the club, oh, by the way, Mr. Saudi Arabian from Bahrain or wherever, yeah, you can buy the club for $3.5 billion, but don't forget you have to pay $4 billion because there's a debt on top of it. Do you know that shouldn't be? It does happen in business, and of course it does, and it's how business probably run. How many billionaires do that? How many billionaires go bankrupt, and then suddenly they wake up the next morning, they can leverage some property to become a millionaire again. Look at Donald Trump. How many times has he been bankrupt? More times than I've hot dinners, but he's still a millionaire. And he finds loopholes. There's too many loopholes within business and within leverage and whatever. Everything needs to be tightened, and I think football has to tighten its own rules as well. Look, I just feel that the day of a Jack Walker or a day of a hometown millionaire going to bankroll the football club is long gone. But I just feel the likes. I fear for Manchester United. I fear for them. If they get one thing wrong, that club could go down the toilet very, very quickly because they won't have the money to get out of it. The owner said, we can't afford to pay the debts. Then what's the banks going to say? Well, okay, the only asset you've got is the stadium or is the Manchester United brand. That's your asset. We're going to take it. Same thing can happen to us. If we get relegated and we don't get back up into the Premier League after the first year, same thing can happen to us. We could be in financial peril. Nobody asked for this stadium. And I keep saying that. Nobody asked for the new stadium. Yes, we all agree White Hart Lane needed updating. We all agree probably did need a better change in facilities. And possibly we needed a new stadium as well. I get that. But it's there onto a football club. It's our football club at the end of the day. It's like Manchester United. It's their football club at the end of the day. People are playing Russian roulette with people's clubs. And this is where I think the rules need to change to make it tougher so you can get another Glazer or you can get another ENIC. And I'm very passionate about that because I think football should be for the fans. And if a football club goes, who's the first one it hurts? Who it damages? Us, the fans, at the end of the day. Billionaires will go on to be billionaires. Do you know, corporate people will still go on to be corporate people. They just lost the job. Us fans have lost our identity. We've lost our football club. And I think I think we're going down a very dangerous road where if there's another massive financial crash, I think a few Premier League teams could be in serious problems because the football world didn't put the right rules in place to make sure that the Glazers never happen again. Somebody can still do a Glazers. The rules are not in place to stop that. What do I know? I'm just a short-ass fella from Ireland that left school at 14, went working in the building. So I don't know nothing about business, but I just feel very passionate about it.
Dermot, I'm sorry, but none of this is new.
I know it's not new, but surely somebody should have came in and sorted it out by now. Surely.
Why? They're businesses.
So if Tottenham
Businesses
went
can't be
bust
protected.
tomorrow, but if
in my
Tottenham went bust tomorrow,
career of 30 years,
yeah,
right? I haven't worked for that many companies, but 3 of them no longer exist, and they were all in the FTSE 100. Because that's just the way that business works.
I get you. I do get you. Tequila, what do you reckon? Any last word on this, bud? Anything I said, do you agree with or disagree with, or the sentiment?
I don't disagree with the sentiment, Dermot. I don't disagree with the sentiment.
There's should and would. There's lots of things that should happen that don't and won't ever. So it's morality isn't morality really exists in business. It's the way that it is. It's always been that way. Probably always will be. And football is a business, one of the biggest in the world, as we can all see. I hope you get what you want, Dermo. I don't think you will, but it would be a nice idea.
I don't think I will either, but what do I know?
The best that could happen. I mean, I love the idea in Germany. I know it's not every single club, but I love this 51% owned by fans. I love that, and I also do personally love the Barcelona and Real Madrid models where the club is it's I can't remember, it's so they're proper sporting clubs, aren't they? So they're owned by the members, look kind of like the Co-op. They're owned by the members, and they
one of them owned by the government.
Real Madrid, I think, have got something to do with the government, haven't they?
Yeah, I think
you need to get closer to your mic, Dermot. You're a bit quiet.
It's in Real Madrid or Barcelona. I think Tequila said Real Madrid's owned by the Spanish government, aren't they? Or part owned by the Spanish government.
They're involved with them. I'm not honestly sure to what level, but they're involved with them. Yeah.
Can you imagine the British government involved in the football club? It wouldn't last very long.
What with Spurs? Is that what you want, Dermo?
Yeah.
You want Labour. You don't. No, trust me, you don't want Labour to be involved with Tottenham.
Don't want any of them.
Can you imagine Starmer as new chairman of Tottenham Hotspur?
Starmer, new CEO of Spurs. Would that make everyone happy? Would it?
Right, on that bombshell, on that cracking bombshell, Tequila.
So is our conclusion that Igor is going to help save Spurs or not?
I've ended up. No, he's not. But I just hope Tottenham stay up. Tequila, will he save Spurs? Yeah or nay?
I still think they stay up, but how much he actually a bigger role he plays in it, I'm not sure. More along the lines of any new manager bounce, please, new manager bounce, please. That's as far it went to it as I thought.
Yeah.
So that's where I am. Can I have a say?
Yeah.
Because so much I haven't actually. I agree with Tequila.
I was expecting a rant there. Right. One more thing. Yes or no? Does it go to the last day of the season?
No.
Or the second last game of the season?
Maybe.
No.
Do we get the Chelsea and Everton, which are our two last games, needing something out of them 2 games to stay up?
I'm going to go have another look. We're going to have a look at our.
I'm going to say no, Dermo, because I think the 3 wins we need are going to come before those 2 matches.
I hope you're right. I hope we win. I hope we win Sunday. I hope we win Thursday, and we get a point at Liverpool next Sunday.
Well, we ain't getting nothing at Chelsea, so you can rule that one out. And then Everton.
Right, here's the man with the scores on the board. Waiting for you.
Me?
You said you're going to have a look. Does it go to the last game of the season? You said, let me have a look.
No.
Your answer.
I agree with Tequila. I think if we're not safe by Leeds, then we're down. We're not safe by Leeds, then we're down. There's no way we're getting the points at Chelsea, and I don't think these players have got the fight to get a result against Everton.
This one is right. Forest and Palace remain in Europe, playing twice a week, could possibly bog them down in the relegation. So it's Hotspur. It's still down to us to go and run. Yeah, I agree. I do agree in that. Right, Tequila, where can people find you?
Obviously, you guys can find me on here. You can find me at the Play Pouch Gaming channel and the new No Sell Wrestling channel.
I enjoyed that the other night. It was a good show. Well done.
Thank you.
I did like and comment, by the way. So well done. Okay, Arain, where can find you between here and the moon?
I'm the littlest hobo. Oh, the not so little hobo. That's my new thing.
So you're a dog then? Is that what you're telling me? You're a dog.
I'm everyone's best friend.
Yeah. So you're Lassie.
Wow.
Lassie was everyone's best friend. Oh, so was littlest hobo as well.
He could have called you Joe. So there you
go. Yeah, exactly. I ain't rescuing anybody from any well.
I just want to ask one thing. How can anyone understand a feckin' dolphin flipper? Right. A dog, maybe you could get a dog when he's barking and he's running, wants you to follow him. How the hell are you supposed to understand a feckin' flipper?
You've never seen the Airbud films there, mate? Dogs can play basketball.
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah. You know, there's flipper.
Maybe we should get a dog and put him up front for Spurs. What do you think? I think he'd get some goals.
Yeah, we could put Lassie in midfield, Flipper in goal. We could put King Kong up front and Godzilla in midfield with Lassie. That would be a good team. But on that bombshell, we're going to end it there. Yes, I'm on tomorrow morning at 11:15 with the round of 16 draw. See who Tottenham get. Will it be Galatasaray or will it be Atletico Madrid? We also find out who we play in the quarterfinals as well. Tomorrow, join me and Philip over on Ireland Till We Die at 8:00 when we go think all things Irish soccer. Then I'm on the Man United agenda tomorrow night at 9. Saturday, we're back with pre-match build-up, predicted lineups as well. We'll be back as well. Sunday, watch-alongs. So watch along after the whistle. Player ratings again on Monday. and then we'll all build up for Palace on Thursday. So a lot coming up on the channel. Just want to say a big thank you. We nearly reached 900,000 views on the channel. I think we're only a couple of thousand views away from, so we're nearly hitting 1 million. And we're also nearly hitting 2,600 on the channel as well. Thank you so much for all your support. Continue growth of this channel. It still boggles me to understand why, but I'm so grateful and humbled by it all. So thank you so much. We all appreciate it, your support and your dedication. Guys, we're going to end it there. Don't worry. Spurs will stay up. Spurs will be fine. We can all go to bed and sleep sound at night, knowing that Daniel Levy's no longer at the football club. On that bombshell. Speak to you later. Come on, you Spurs.
Just be out, mate.
But hit the right button.